Welcome to my 1 to 99 mining guide after the mining and smithing rework. This guide will show you everything you need to know to be able to achieve 99 mining after the rework. A big thanks to everyone who made this possible, including Camel, who decided to make some great mining rework art here. So let's start off with the new changes. First off, rocks do not deplete anymore. That means you can sit and hammer away at the same rock for as long as you want to, and that doesn't even matter. Next, you now damage rocks and gain progress towards receiving an ore when the bar is full. That means that it is not like it was before when you didn't know you're going to get an ore. Now you'll know exactly when you're going to get that ore. Your mining speed is determined by your mining level, your pickaxe strength, or the tier, and your strength level. Your strength level really only matters every 10 levels though, so it actually takes into account 1/10 of your strength level. The next is that rocks now have a hardness level. Hardness level is pretty much ignored as long as you have a pickaxe that is the same tier or higher than that current rock you are doing. Another new aspect of mining is the stamina mechanic that is unlocked at level 15 mining. You can view your stamina bar above your head by going into settings and then selecting to be able to view the stamina bar. Every swing uses 10% stamina, and stamina is restored every time you click a rock. The stamina bar will give you extra damage depending on how full it is. If you have a full stamina bar, you get plus 25% extra damage per swing. If you have between 1 and 99 stamina, then you will have plus 12.5% per swing, and then if you have no stamina or you are completely AFK, then you will get no bonus towards hitting the rock. Also, something to keep in mind there is you do not have to continuously click the rock in order to keep your stamina up unless you want to, because between 1 and 99 will give you the exact same extra damage per swing. If you would like to keep 100% stamina the entire time, then you can do the 4-tick method, or clicking the rock every 2.4 seconds. Essentially, all you have to do is every time you swing with a full stamina bar, click the rock again to refill the stamina bar for the next swing. The next mechanic is ROCKERTUNITIES, which will appear as a glowing aura on a rock near you while mining. They will not appear on the rock that you are mining, so keep that in mind. What this also means is the areas with less rocks are going to be a little bit better for hitting faster ROCKERTUNITIES and much easier. When you click on these, you'll do anywhere from 4 to 7 times the damage you would normally do in a hit. The 7 times boost is unlocked with something like the magic golem suit. The table right here shows you what the ROCKERTUNITY multipliers are per ore as well as per level. It only makes sense that since we're doing damage to rocks that we have a chance to get a critical, right? So critical hits now deal extra damage for that swing. So when you get a critical hit, you're going to do a lot more damage. If you crit on a ROCKERTUNITY, the ROCKERTUNITY multiplier also applies that critical damage too, which is pretty important to know. Your base critical percent is going to be 10% at level 1, and then rises depending on which rock you're doing and also what your level is. The critical chances only go above 10% of the rocks shown on the table, and then all the rest of the rocks are a 10% chance. So anything not shown here is only going to be 10% max. Your critical hit bonus is the amount of extra damage you do when you do a critical hit. This chart here shows you how much extra damage you're going to do depending on your mining level. One of the coolest new features of mining is the chance to get a double ore. So this chart on the left shows you your chances of getting a double ore depending on which rock that you're mining. It's also very important to know that just like the other ones I mentioned, the chances of getting this double ore only apply to the rocks shown in this picture right here. It does not apply to things such as rune essence. Now on the right here, we have the new thing called geodes. So geodes are the replacement for getting a gem while you're mining, and they have chances of get actually much better rewards than just a gem was before, which is really cool. And the chances of getting a geode depends on which rock you're mining as well, and that is all shown right here on this chart. Here's the full loot from all 3 types of geodes, and as you can see with the metamorphic geode, they have some pretty amazing loot, but it's pretty important to remember though also that you're not going to be getting these very often, so they are quite rare. Something else to mention with these metamorphics is that every time you open up a metamorphic, you're going to get a strange rock or a golden rock that you are currently missing, which means that if you save up your metamorphics and open them up at the right times, it can be a really easy way to get some of those strange rocks or golden rocks that are being like a pretty big pain to get. As you probably guessed, the pickaxes have changed as well. Starting from bronze and going all the way up to the pickaxe of earth and song, these pickaxes are unlocked every 10 levels. So it is very important to remember, as mentioned before, that the rocks have a certain hardness, so you will need to have a pickaxe that is equivalent or higher than the current rock that you are mining. So it is also important to know that in this list right here, the dragon, which is level 60, crystal tier 70, Imcando tier 80, and the pickaxe of earth and song tier 90 are the only ones that can be augmented. All the rest of them cannot be augmented, so don't get them for that reason. It's also something else to remember too, is that the pickaxe of earth and song is a little bit difficult for some people to get due to quests and stuff like that, but the elder rune plus 5 actually has the exact same stats as the pickaxe of earth and song. It just can't be augmented. In order to add a plus to one of these, by the way, and all that plus means just a little bit extra power power to them, you can simply go and smith them to a higher plus level. You can also buy them in the GE as a +1, +2, +5, whatever. So you don't really have to go make them. You can always just go buy them. But for Iron Man, you can go smith them. And the perks right here, they have pretty dramatically changed actually. So the honed now gives you double ore chance, refined gives you an increased geode chance, furnace will give you extras XP per swing, but it will not generate any progress. But you guys can go ahead and check out this full list right here to see what all has changed. But it's very important to know that the perks you'll be putting on your stuff has definitely changed. The new ore boxes are essentially just a giant coal bag. Instead of carrying just coal, they now carry more different types of ores. This chart right here shows you what smithing level you need to make each one of them, but also you can just buy these in the Grand Exchange too if you'd like to. They gain more space as you level mining, which you can view in the mining skill tips, and you can only use one at the same time, so don't try to grab more of these to store a whole bunch of different ores. The Everything is Awesome achievement also gives you +20 spaces, and totally maxed out, you'll be able to hold 140 of each one of the ores in this box. The rework brings some pretty big changes to some of the stuff we've used in the past, such as these auras and Juju mining potions. We also have these brand new stone spirits, which are actually pretty cool, and this little image right here shows you all the different types of stone spirits. Basically, when you have these in your inventory, if you were to get one ore from mining, then you'll get an extra ore and consume one of the stone spirits. It's pretty important to know though, you do not get extra XP for doing that, so that's not going to help out your XP rates. But if you look at these auras, they have actually changed by quite a bit. The Quarry Master aura now gives you a better critical hit chance. The Resourceful aura gives you a better chance of getting a geode, and also gives you the same boost of saving red and crystal flex sandstone as it did before. The Juju mining potion will give you a 10% chance to get a stone spirit, and that is actually pretty important to know that has changed. It's not the little spirit that sends stuff to your bank anymore. It'll actually literally give you one of these brand new stone spirits. And the perfect Juju mining potion or perfect plus potion, they both give the same bonus. This will refill your stamina bar completely. What this means is that if you bring a whole bunch of stone spirits with you, then you'll be able to maintain 100% stamina the entire time, and that is really awesome if you're trying to get better XP while AFK. Mining has a pretty ridiculous amount of new useful items that can be used to give bonuses. The Rock Crush Scrimshaw, whether it is a superior or not superior, gives you a +2 or 3% crit chance. Gem Finding Scrimshaw is +2 or 3% chance to find a geode. Collector's Insignia, depending on if it's charged or not, will give you a +2 or 3% geode chance, as well as a +5 or 10% bonus to how much sandstone you gather. The Amulet of Glory will give you a +1% chance to find a geode. Mining Urns will give you around a 20% XP boost, although those can be kind of expensive. They're definitely worth it. And you can use the Urn Enhancer on those as well. The Golden Mining Outfit will give you a 6% total XP boost if you own the entire set. The Grace of the Elves, or using Porters, is a great way to send the ores back to your bank. You can store porters inside of the Grace of the Elves, and also the Grace of the Elves will give you these spirits. They'll give you a rare drop treasure loot. The Dwarven Ranhammer, if you happen to have those from Treasure Hunter or something like that, will give you either ×2 XP or ×2 loot. The Magical Golem will give you +5% crit chance, +1 to that ROCKERTUNITY boost we talked about in the beginning. It'll also make the LRC or Living Rock Cavern monsters non-aggressive. Once you have the 99 mining skill cape, you'll get a 5% double ore chance on all the core ores. The core ores are all those ones we showed you back previously, where I said these are the only ones that will work on for like extra ores. All of the luck rings, as they're mentioned here, between luck tier 1, 2, 3, and 4, will give you bonuses of changing any igneous geodes you get into a metamorphic geode, which means that that's a pretty awesome boost because those metamorphics has some awesome loot. The familiars are shown right here of giving you now a damage bonus. So the Lava Titan gives you a +10 damage bonus, which is pretty wicked. And the skill Champas are also reworked to give you bonus critical damage only when you do a critical hit though. They do not give you a bonus chance of getting a critical hit, they just increase how much damage you do when you do one. They can seem kind of expensive, but they're actually a pretty good value when you really work it out. The VARROCK armor has also been reworked to give you a chance of getting an extra ore of certain types. The tier of armor required for which ores is right here on this chart. The potency is the chance of you getting the double ore. The new VARROCK tasks also increase your chances of getting these new ore. It's TRA, brah! That actually still matters because TRA now is actually pretty good. It's actually maybe even better than it was before. Now Superheat Form no longer auto-smiths the corrupt ores in the TRA area, so don't worry about doing that. But you do get a plus 20% chance of double ore from all rocks during the TRA hour. And there is a 1 in 15 chance of any harmonized rock to be changed to a light or dark ANIMICA, which is worth quite a bit of money right now. Divine locations have changed as shown here on the chart. And basically all you need to know is that everything was lowered and they have not made the new rocks yet as for when this guide was made. Also, the XP that you get from doing these is now equal to the new XP rates as they've been changed with the mining and smithing rework. If you have the Crystallize spell unlocked, then you're really going to enjoy this. Crystallize has actually been made quite a bit better by the new mining and smithing rework. It now works only on all core mining rocks, including the ANIMICA though. One cast lasts 30 seconds, and when you cast it, it will actually give you a progress bar on the ores, that way you know how long it will last. It's also pretty important to note that if you cast Crystallize on a rock that has a ROCKERTUNITY on it, then when you first hit that, Crystallize will apply to that ROCKERTUNITY. No damage is done towards the ore progress while you're doing this, so just like previously, you're not going to get any kinds of materials while you're doing this, but it does give you plus 20% XP. And if you're using light form, it's a total boost of plus 40% XP. That boost is actually gigantic when it comes to using this on higher level ores. Here's an example of a mining loadout that'll give you some pretty fast XP rates. On the main hand pickaxe, you're going to want to use Honed and Furnace. For the offhand, which I would highly recommend to be a sword such as Excalibur, well, you'll be able to put on Wise and Mobile. Wise for more XP, Mobile to be able to use your Bladed Dive ability more often, and Bladed Dive is very useful for bouncing from rock to rock to be able to hit those ROCKERTUNITYs faster, especially in rooms where the rocks are more spread out. This will give you a much higher XP rate if you do this. The runes can be put into a rune pouch if you'd like to, and optionally you'll bring a quiver and some more prayer boosting items in order to use the light form prayer. Alright everybody, it's time to show you the fastest way to get from 1 to 99. So when using this guide and looking at the XP rates, you want to add 20% more XP if you're going to use Crystallize, and then 20% more if you're going to use light form with Crystallize, which is highly recommended. At level 80 and above, the rates shown will be with a magic golem suit, and that requires 80 mining and 20 invention to create that. The reason why is because most people at that point in the game are going to have a magic golem suit, and in order to make this guide the most accurate, it needs to be included. The guide rates do not count any other boosts, so those boosts will give you higher rates. You can check, as we've already mentioned, a whole bunch of different ways you can boost up your XP. Always upgrade your pickaxe to the highest tier possible. You do not want to be below the hardness level of the rock that you're trying to mine. And then this entire guide assumes that your mining level is equal to your strength level, since strength does apply to your mining boosts. This guide is going to be showing you guys 3 different mining rates of XP. If you are AFK, which means your stamina often hits 0 and you're not hitting ROCKERTUNITYs, then that rate will be shown. Also, we'll be showing you guys the rate for AFK and ROCKERTUNITYs, which means clicking when you see a new ROCKERTUNITY, and then typically you'll be between 1 and 99% stamina range the entire time. That right there is actually probably the most common thing that people are going to be using is the AFK and ROCKERTUNITYs. The next one is going to be 4 ticking and ROCKERTUNITYs. That means maintaining 100% stamina by clicking every 2.4 seconds and hitting all ROCKERTUNITYs. What that means is that you are trying really hard to get as much XP as possible. The very first thing we're going to be mining is going to be copper, and you can get to copper by teleporting to Lumbridge and then running south as I show you here on the map. This map location right here is the best location to do copper due to the fact that there is 2 rocks here. This is also very close to a whole lot of different banks. This is probably the best spot to mine copper in the game, and the reason why is because of the fact that there's literally only 2 rocks here, so you just have to look back and forth to hit the ROCKERTUNITYs. That'll make it so that hitting ROCKERTUNITYs is extremely easy, and you'll be able to get the best XP per hour that you can possibly get. You're going to be mining copper from level 1 to 31, so it's a good idea to bring pickaxes all the way up to the MITHRIL pickaxe in order to get the best XP rates per hour. If you're going to be AFK, you can expect around 2000 XP per hour at level 1, all the way up to 23.5k XP per hour at level 31. And that's 195 to 1320 ores per hour at level 31. If you're doing 4 tick and ROCKERTUNITYs, then you can get 3.6k to 45.8k at the top end, as well as 350 to 1826 ores per hour. This guide is going to show you the best XP rates per hour, which means that is the reason why we're staying here all the way to level 31. Alternatively, if you want to go get some other ores, maybe if you're an Iron Man or something like that, you can feel free to do other ores, they just won't be as fast as sticking at copper till 31. Our next stop is MITHRIL. You can get there by teleporting to the VARROCK lodestone and then running west. There's a couple banks right here, which makes it a very nice location. This location has 3 rocks, which makes it also pretty awesome for hitting ROCKERTUNITYs very easily. You will want to bring your pickaxes all the way up to an adamant pickaxe here. We're going to be hanging out here from levels 31 to 48. 48, you're going to get 24.5 to 37.4k XP per hour AFK, and all the way up to 570 ores per hour. If you're doing 4 ticking and ROCKERTUNITIES, you can bump that up to 44.1k to 73k an hour AFK, with all the way up to 890 ores per hour. So overall, MITHRIL is really not that bad. Our next top is going to be either LUMINITE or ADAMANTITE, and I chose LUMINITE because LUMINITE is currently worth more money. You can get there really easily by going to just the east of the party room right here in Falador, as shown on the map. Down the stairs in the house and you'll find the Dwarven Mine. As you can see right here on the map, you just walk left from that entrance and you'll be right at the LUMINITE. Just keep in mind though, you cannot use that mining guild entrance until you have level 60 mining. This LUMINITE spot is awesome because it only has 3 rocks here, which means that you are going to be able to hit your ROCKERTUNITIES very quickly. It also has quite a bit of access to banks, especially if you have the dungeoneering level to use some of the resource dungeons around here. The XP rates here are going to vary quite a bit between level 48 and 60, and the reason why we're going to stay here till 60 is because that will allow us to be able to enter the mining guild once we are done here. So at level 48, you're going to expect 38.5k per hour XP and 53k per XP per hour at level 60 if you're doing AFK, and that's up to 492 ores per hour. It goes up to 103,000 per hour though, as far as XP, if you're doing 4 ticking and you are hitting your ROCKERTUNITIES. Next up is going to be RUNITE, and we're going to be going right to basically where we already were. So we're going to be going into the mining guild this time, and we actually will have the level in order to do the mining guild now because we will have hit 60 mining. We're going to be mining the RUNITE ore here because once again the banks are in close proximity, and we basically already were here as we were doing LUMINITE in the room just next to this. But since we can actually access the mining guild now, this is going to be very convenient. The rocks here are a little bit stretched out though, so it will be nice if you are going to be using that bladed dive, because the bladed dive will give you substantially more XP per hour with you being able to hit the ROCKERTUNITIES much faster. We're going to be mining RUNITE from level 60 to 75, and you'll be able to get 54.1 to 65.6k XP per hour while you're AFK, or 311 to 378 ores per hour. If you're going to be doing 4 ticking as well as ROCKERTUNITIES, then you can get 105 to 128,000 XP per hour, and then up to 650 ores per hour. After mining all that RUNITE, we're going to be heading to either Nechrite or Phasmatite, and I'm going to recommend Phasmatite because it's much easier to access. As shown right here on the map, if you have the Dungeoneering Aura 3, you can access this resource dungeon right here, which is really close to where we just were. If you don't have access to that, you can head over to this other location, which is actually still very good. The Ectofuntus teleport will get you right there, so you can just run south from that through Port Phasmatis and get right to the mining area. Also, that south wall of Port Phasmatis actually has an agility shortcut, so you can just run straight through it. It also has great access to a bank, as you can see here. As with a lot of our really good locations, this location has just 3 rocks, which means ROCKERTUNITIES here are super duper easy. This is the point where mining gets a little bit more confusing. So if you're not going to be doing AFK, then you're going to stay here from level 75 to 96 or 97. But if you are going to be doing AFK, then you want to go here from 75 to 89. And the reason why 89 is because at 89 you can go and do Sarin Stones. Sarin Stones are actually really good if you're doing AFK. If you're not AFK though, that includes AFK plus ROCKERTUNITIES, then you want to stick here until 96 or 97. Also at this point you can start doing CRYSTALLISE if you have CRYSTALLISE unlocked, so be sure to do that because your XP rates will go up substantially. CRYSTALLISE plus Light Form. You can expect 66 to 110k XP per hour here AFK, and all the way up to 128 to 230k XP per hour here if you're doing 4 tick and ROCKERTUNITIES. With ROCKERTUNITIES you can get up to 450 ores per hour. At level 96, you can head over to either Light or Dark ANIMICA. Dark ANIMICA is found in the Empty Throne Room, and the Light ANIMICA is found right here on this map. So if you teleport to Tramwin Lodestone and then run east, you'll run right into the rocks. You can really do whichever one is worth more money at the time. For many players, ANIMICA is going to be the end game for mining, so it's pretty nice that we have a pretty great spot for this. It's really close to a lodestone, which means you can very easily bank, and the rocks are all really close to each other in kind of an oval shape, which makes it really easy to hit the ROCKERTUNITIES. You're going to notice a pretty big difference between being AFK here and not being AFK here. So from level 96 all the way to 99 and beyond, you can do ANIMICA. And the reason why you want to stay here is if you really are trying to get money. If you don't want money and you rather just get fast experience, then the next method is probably going to be the best way for you to go to 99. You can expect 106 to 114k XP per hour while AFK here, and all the way up to 160 ores per hour. If you're doing 4 ticking and ROCKERTUNITIES, you can jack that all the way up to 185 to 255k per hour, and up to 340 ores per hour. As you can see, 4 ticking here is going to pay off a lot, and I highly recommend doing that. If you don't care about the gold, or you'd rather just get the best XP per hour without using CRYSTALLISE, then you can head to the ALEA crablets. So ALEA crablets are the gold crabs that you find on uncharted islands in the Ark. If you are going to do these, you have to have the arc unlocked, so that is one reason why you may not go do these guys. If you do not have the arc unlocked, then alternatively you can do Crystallize on the light and dark Animicas and get much better rates per hour till 99, or you can go and do Sarin Stones from 89 to 99. Sarin Stones are really only recommended though if you're going to be doing 100% AFK. The XP rates at these guys are fantastic for not using Crystallize. There are no ROCKERTUNITYs here, so it's just between AFKing and then 4 ticking. So if you're AFKing, you can expect to get anywhere from 180 to 220k XP per hour, which is 210 to 223 salts per hour roughly. Before ticking, you can expect 245 to 300k XP per hour, with 260 to 270 salts per hour. It's important to remember that salts actually will also give you more XP because you can trade those for chimes, which gives you more XP lamps. And then as well here, you can expect to get these numbers a lot higher if you are using other boosts, but keep in mind the only thing we're using is the magic golem for these numbers. I really hope you enjoyed my 1 to 99 mining guide. It took me a long time to make this, but I really think it came out great. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and it would really make my day if you guys hit the like button or share this to anyone that you think it might help. As always, hit the subscribe button because there's going to be more guides coming, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.